For many people, the dream of retirement is simple. Stop working as soon as possible. After all, who wouldn't want more years of freedom, more time to travel, and more mornings without an alarm clock? But here's the uncomfortable truth. Retiring too early could actually cost you more than working longer. I've seen this play out with individuals and couples who seemed financially prepared. They had saved diligently, built portfolios worth well over $1 million, and believed that the numbers on paper gave them the green light to quit. But once they stepped away from their careers, reality set in. Their expenses were higher than expected, their tax bill was larger than they planned, and healthcare costs blindsided them. And the fear of running out of money crept in faster than they ever imagined. The danger of retiring too early isn't just about running out of money. It's the ripple effects. Higher healthcare costs before Medicare, smaller Social Security checks for life, more years of portfolio withdrawals, lost compounding growth, and lifestyle trade-offs you really hadn't expected. That's why deciding when to retire is one of the most important financial decisions you'll ever make, and it's often not as simple as, I've saved enough, so I'm done. Hi, I'm Phil Gallant, president of the Optimus Group and author of Get Me to Zero. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through why retiring too early could cost you more than working longer. More importantly, I'll share some real-life examples of how families I've worked with navigated this decision and the lessons you can use to plan your own retirement with confidence. If you find this helpful, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. And if you're within that 5 to 10 year window before retirement, you'll want to watch until the end, because I'll also share how you can connect with me for a personalized plan. And if you want to see how this applies to you, book a call with me. The link is in the description below. Now, let's get into it. The very first reason is healthcare costs before Medicare. One of the biggest shocks for early retirees is the cost of healthcare. Retiring at 62 instead of 65 means 3 years of private insurance premiums before Medicare kicks in. And those premiums are not cheap. $10,000 to $20,000 per year per person is common. And for some couples, it's even higher. So let me share a case study of someone I worked with, Jim and Carol, who built up a $2.4 million retirement portfolio and ready to retire at 60. They felt confident until we factored in healthcare. The cost of bridging both of them to Medicare at 65 added nearly $120,000 in extra expenses. That was money they hadn't accounted for. The solution? Jim decided to keep working part-time with benefits until 63. That move not only covered healthcare, but also reduced withdrawals from their portfolio, protecting their savings. So the takeaway is, if you retire too early, healthcare alone can eat away at years of savings. Sometimes working just a little longer gives you breathing room and keeps your retirement plan intact. Second thing to consider is smaller Social Security benefits. Another major factor is Social Security claiming at 62. When you claim at 62, it locks you into a permanently reduced benefit, about 30% less than if you had waited till full retirement age. And the difference, if you want to wait till 70, can be even greater because of delayed retirement credits. David, a client of mine, came in at 61, planning to retire at 62 and start Social Security right away. His benefit would have been about $2,000 a month. But when we ran the numbers, waiting until 70 boosted that benefit to $3,400 a month. That's an extra $1,400 a month every month for the rest of his life, and it also meant a higher survivor benefit for his wife. Now, over a 25-year retirement, that delay added up to more than $400,000 in additional guaranteed income. Working a few extra years can dramatically change the long-term math. It's not just about today's paycheck, it's about the guaranteed income that follows you for life. The third reason is more years of portfolio withdrawals. Retiring early stretches your portfolio over more years. Instead of covering 25 years of retirement, you might now need to cover 30 or even 35. That means every dollar has to last longer and the margin for error shrinks. I worked with a couple who retired at 60 with $1.8 million, and they wanted to withdraw $80,000 annually, which seemed reasonable. But when we modeled the 30-year retirement with inflation and potential market downturns, the probability of success was only around 50%. By contrast, if they waited until 65, contributing a bit more and reducing the years that they needed to fund, their plan's probability jumped to over 90%. It wasn't just about the extra savings, it was about the shorter runway. Fewer retirement years to cover meant their money worked harder for them. Fourth reason is lost compounding growth. Every extra year you work is another year your portfolio can grow without withdrawals. That compounding effect can be the difference between just getting by and thriving in retirement. Linda had $1.5 million invested and was eager to retire at 62. We modeled what would happen if she worked until 64. In those 2 years, her portfolio grew by nearly $300,000 thanks to compounding growth and continued contributions. By delaying, she started retirement with a stronger foundation and less stress about market volatility. So the takeaway is that compounding doesn't just happen in your 20s and 30s, it's still powerful in your 60s. Working a little longer can give you an enormous boost that lasts for the rest of your life. And then there's lifestyle trade-offs. Retiring too early can force lifestyle compromises you really didn't anticipate. Maybe it means fewer trips, less help for your children or your grandchildren, or even selling the family home. Mark and Susan had a $1.2 million savings for retirement, and they saved that by age 58 and wanted to retire immediately. But when we ran the numbers, their lifestyle would have required them to live on $50,000 a year, not enough to cover travel, support their grandchildren, and enjoy the retirement that they envisioned. By waiting until 62, their Social Security benefits and additional portfolio growth lifted their sustainable income to about $75,000 a year. That extra $25,000 meant that they could enjoy the retirement they dreamed of, not just scrape by. This is why working longer isn't just about money, it's about quality of life. Sometimes retiring early means retiring into a lifestyle that you didn't plan for. And here's a bonus item. Taxes in early retirement are one of the most overlooked costs of retiring early. When you stop working, your paycheck may disappear, but your tax bill doesn't. In fact, retiring early can sometimes increase your tax exposure. Here's why. Without a paycheck, early retirees rely heavily on taxable withdrawals from their IRAs or their 401ks. And large withdrawals in your 60s can push you into higher tax brackets, cause more of your Social Security, when you claim it, to become taxable, and even increase your Medicare premiums once you hit 65. I worked with a couple, both age 60, who retired with nearly $2 million in traditional IRAs. To fund their lifestyle, they were pulling $120,000 annually. That income placed them in a higher bracket than when they were working because they no longer had access to pre-tax deductions from employment. By restructuring their withdrawals, converting some of their IRA money into a Roth over a series of years, and delaying large distributions until after age 65, we were able to reduce their lifetime tax bill by nearly $300,000. The point is this: retiring early without a tax strategy can backfire. Sometimes continuing to work, even part-time, allows you to bridge those years more efficiently while setting up Roth conversions or other tax moves to reduce your tax burden later. So let's recap. Retiring too early can cost you more in 6 major ways. Higher healthcare costs before Medicare. Smaller Social Security benefits for life. More years of portfolio withdrawals. Lost compounding growth, lifestyle trade-offs you may not want to make, and finally, higher and often unexpected taxes in early retirement. The bottom line is this: retiring early isn't always a mistake. For some people, it can work beautifully, but for many, the trade-offs are larger than expected. Working just a few more years often provides more flexibility, stronger income, and greater peace of mind. And this is where a personalized retirement plan can make all the difference. Because the truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. The right decision depends entirely on your goals, your savings, and your vision for retirement. If you're thinking about retiring early or weighing whether to keep working longer, then let's talk. Click the link in the description below to book a free consultation, and I'll walk you through your options so you can make the decision that's right for you. Thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more practical retirement strategies.